The flip side of not wanting to talk about it is that when you talk about it, you actually bring something that's, dark and that's causing you angst, and you bring it into the light, and nothing dark survives in life.
Welcome back to another episode of the Everyday Joy podcast. I'm your host, Ash Couchman, and I cannot wait to find moments of joy with you today. I am so excited to be diving into the Word of God together today. Let's jump into the conversation. Welcome back to the podcast, Shaylee and Jacquie. Yay! Yay!
Hello!
I'm so happy you guys are back. We haven't been together since the live podcast.
It's true.
And it was so much fun, and I just thought, let's get him back.
I love it. Well, I'm still riding the high of the live podcast, so
let's jump back. Let's talk about Christmas because it is the Christmas episode. Yay. Which is one of my favorites. Every single year that we've done a Christmas episode, it has been the highlight. It gets the most downloads out of any episode that we do. And yeah, I'm excited just to chat and recap the year. Shay, give us like a quick recap. What's been going on since the live event?
My baby is still alive, so that's great. Keeping him alive. Well, that's pretty much my only job at the moment is to the survival of this child.
Yep.
Look, we've had a huge journey. He was not sleeping at all, like literally not a wink. And so we did go to sleep school. It changed our lives. If anyone is listening who might possibly be in that situation, just go. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So now we're all sleeping.
That's good.
It's fantastic. And
you went on a holiday?
Oh yeah, we went to Port Douglas, which was really nice. So I was meant to go on a baby moon in January before I had Banks, obviously. And I got very ill at the airport, so we had to cancel and postpone. So we just went on our first family holiday, and it was really cute. It was really cute to see his little arms and legs in like warm weather. And like, because he's been a winter baby.
So true.
It was nice to see his...
He's like a little sweaty baby.
Yeah, his white little skin. Yeah, it's so cute. And that's pretty much me.
So good.
Yeah.
How about you, Jack?
There has been a lot going on since July. It's been very busy here at the Light. As you know, I'm back at the Light. It's awesome. What else has been happening? I've been doing a lot of walking and a lot of like hiking and a lot of getting out in the bush and nature and just loving it. And recently started doing PT.
How are you finding it?
I'm absolutely loving it. I never thought I would be this person, but I am frothing it, like frothing it. Really, really enjoying it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Jack, that's
how
so
exciting.
Cool.
I love that.
Oh my goodness. Now, I feel like this year has been, I don't know about you guys, one of the longest, shortest years ever. Like, if I think back to last Christmas or the episode that Shay and Tilly and myself did last Christmas, it feels like a lifetime ago. Shay, you've had a baby.
I know.
Like, Tilly's having a public Did you hear about that, Jacquie?
Tilly's pregnant.
Tilly's having a baby.
Yeah.
She's announced on her social, so I do believe that's public knowledge. There's just so much that's happened, right? Like over this last year. So I thought today, for the Christmas episode, we just take a look back at the year. We'd have a recap, and we just see, obviously Christmas is all about Jesus and the birth of Jesus. But something that I read the other day was in the Bible, it talks about how they said name him Emmanuel, and it means God with us. And I thought it would be really cool just to talk about how, when we know Jesus and when we have a relationship with him, we are living this life of God being so close to us, of God being with us in every season of life. And so I thought, let's just have a little bit of a recap and a reflect on what God's done in our lives this year for today's episode. So let's jump into today's words to live by.
Isaiah 9:6. For us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God.
Ladies, this year, like I said, crazy time. Toby and I have been married for a year and August, September, October, November. 4 months.
That's wild.
That's nearly a year and a half, which is crazy.
That's
Time
so crazy.
is just absolutely zooming. And so I thought to start off the episode, I'd love to know, what was the best thing that's happened this year? What's something that you're just like so grateful to God for, and you're just like, this was awesome? I'll start with you, Jack.
I went on quite possibly one of the best holidays I've ever been on since in a long, long time. Yeah.
So cool. What about it was so special?
Couple of things. I went with a really good friend. I find that you've got to be so intentional about who you go on holidays with. But like when you get married, that's great. You've got an automatic like perfect holiday partner.
Perfect is debatable. My husband and I have very, very different holidaying styles, but that's it for another episode.
Oh, that's hilarious. But so, yeah, I have a friend. She's a school teacher. So by the time we kind of we go in September. The last 4 years, we've been up to this place on the New South Wales South Coast. By the time we get to September, she is almost done. I'm almost done. We're both kind of like re-energizing for the last push to the end of the year. And we both are equally happy to go chit-chat, or just be silent and read books or play, do a puzzle, watch a movie. Yeah. So it's just the perfect company in the perfect spot. It's a 200-meter walk to the beach. There's a little cafe that you walk past to get to the beach that does really good coffee and the most perfect cinnamon scrolls. But you have to get there before 8 to get one.
Really? They sell it that quick? Mm-hmm. And do you feel like you felt rested afterwards?
I think I'm still carrying some of the glow from that holiday. I came back feeling like a completely new person.
Wow.
Oh, sign me up. That sounds fantastic.
What do you think about the holiday made it so restful? Because it's actually a skill, right? It's actually a skill to know how to rest well and to do holidays well. And I think even heading into next year, if you aren't someone, I know so many people who do not plan holidays, even if it's just staying at home or doing something. So many people just stay on the hamster wheel of life and never take time to rest. But it's actually very biblical and very much a part of, God says we need to rest. We need to have moments where we can rejuvenate. Like, what about that trip or that holiday do you think made it so good?
So, I mean, as we talked a little bit about before, I've been doing all this walking, been trying to get fit, and I think having that intentionality and going into the holiday with that level of fitness was spot on. We also made sure that every day we went on a walk. Now, some days it went for hours, some days it was just an hour, but it was like this really lovely, lazy pace of life where, you get up, you have brekkie, you decide, do we want to do a morning walk or an afternoon walk? And some days it was afternoon and some days it was morning, and we'd go and we'd walk along the coast, we'd whale watch, and then the rest of the day was like, what do you want to do? Yeah. Like, meh, I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. Let's read books. Okay. And then we'd go out, there's a couple of really nice local restaurants. And yeah, it was just the pace of it was just this beautiful mix of doing things, doing nothing, but resting.
Sounds incredible.
Sounds so
very
good.
impressed. I'm very impressed.
And just so nice as well, because it's so true. You can come back from a holiday and not feel like that. And so, and yeah, I would even say going into next year for anyone who doesn't plan holidays, because Jackie and I joke about this all the time, but I remember there was a season where we were even chatting about this the other day. I got so burnt out from just like life, work, everything. And it's because I had this mentality of like, well, you just work and you just work and you just work. But actually learning how to rest really well is so healthy and so good. Yeah. How about you, Shay?
Oh, guys, the best thing about this year, it's pretty obvious.
Breaking news.
I would have to say my 8-month-old. Yes, having Banks has been the best thing to come out of this year, to come out of all of my years.
Yeah.
I reckon.
So. What's been like the best thing? What have you loved the most about it? What has been the thing that is there something you didn't expect to love about it?
I think it's a very big question because I love so much, but I think the thing that comes to mind straight away is just watching this person fully blossom in front of your eyes. Like every single day is different. Every single day they're picking up a new skill. I never knew I would be so excited about poop or eating, or I don't know, what's he doing? He's clicking his tongue at the moment going, never knew I'd be so excited about that. But everything he does is amazing. And I honestly think he is very advanced. Nah. Says
so
every parent.
Cute.
But yeah, it's just been so wonderful. And actually, one thing that I have really, really loved is watching Dan, my husband, like step up as a dad has just, melted my heart.
Shay, that's so great. Yeah. I feel like this year's been interesting for me. I've had kind of like, I think you might have said it earlier, Jack, like some of the highest highs and some of the lowest lows this year. But I think the best thing has been probably just like Tobes and I just like having the best like first year of marriage. I think a lot of people can put a little bit of fear in you when you get married. Everyone goes, well, the first year, like look out, the first year is hard. And although I'm sure every relationship is so different, we've just had such a beautiful first year. And like, although all of like a lot of other things have been stressful or life has been a lot, it's really cool. I always say to everyone, like, my marriage is the least of my problems. Like, it's like the best part of my life. Every single night, like Tobes and I, we sit on the couch and we just are like, we love our house, we love our life, we love our work. Like, we are so blessed in that sense. And so I think probably the best thing has just been like really like having a gratitude for like all that God's doing. Like I don't know how to describe it exactly, but like the best thing has been, I think, really realizing all the like good things that God's done in our lives. But yeah, I also think another really good thing has been just like becoming more disciplined in like my faith life. I think we all know that we need discipline in our walk with God. And I think I might have shared it on a podcast episode. I had a moment like mid-year where I was like, well, first, one of my goals this year was to be more disciplined. But then mid-year, I was like, you haven't changed anything, Ash. Like, you're not really fixing anything, doing anything, or being proactive. And so I think, really pressing into the discipline of like, okay, well, what does my relationship with God look like when I'm busy or when things are a lot? I think we might have even talked about it one time together, Jack, of being like, well, sometimes your quiet time looks different and it's not always going to be an hour in the morning at this time and this time, like finding how to really like seek God. And I would say that's been one of the best things because it means I feel like I'm not flailing as much or like I'm waiting till breaking point to go to the Lord. It's like, I've already done that today. And it might only be 5 minutes, but it's already kind of in there. So I feel like that's been really, really great. But obviously life has its highs and its lows. Jack, what do you think's been one of the harder things you've walked through this year?
I think it's the other side of being really disciplined. So like I was saying, I've been going walking, I've been starting to PT, I've been really intentional about it. But I do tend to be very much an all or nothing person, and I tend to go full ham at something. So in the past, when I've started an exercise program or done something like that, I make this plan. I'm probably write it down. It's less likely to be just in my head, but I will write down, and I have like the tick boxes for every day, and I have 3 months worth of this is how I'm going to do this, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do this. But the downside of that is that I tend to be very like, if I don't do it one day, I've lost everything.
Yeah, and then you can get a bit hard on yourself, or or it doesn't last because you're kind of beating yourself up a little bit for going, well, I didn't do it perfectly, or I didn't do it like this.
Who enjoys that? Like,
not me.
Not me either, apparently, because it has never stuck before. So what I've learned this year is rather than saying, I'm going to get up every morning and I'm going to do a 20-minute walk around the block just to, get the sun in my eyeballs and reset all my circadian things and, your circadian thingies.
Your circadian rhythms, whatever you want to call them.
That's it, rhythms. And it's meant to be really good for you, right? So, but instead of going, right, this is what I do now, I just go to bed the night before and I lay out my stuff to get changed into in the morning and just say, tomorrow I'm going to get up and go for a walk. And then I wake up in the morning and go, right, I'm just going to get up and go for a walk.
And do you think
today I can?
Do you think it's hard, or it's been something you've had to overcome because you put a lot of pressure on yourself?
Very much.
Is that where it comes from, do you think?
Very much. And it's also, I like to refer to myself as a recovering perfectionist. And I tend to go, I think part of being that all or nothing is I tend to go, I've got to be perfect at it. And if I say I'm going to do this for the next 3 months, then if I will kill myself trying to do that for the next 3 months, or I don't do it for 2 days and I give up because I haven't done it perfectly.
Yeah.
Whereas I've realized this year I can do it perfectly one day at a time.
Yeah.
Or not even perfectly, you know what I mean.
But you can get to the goal that you want by just taking a step each time.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's a really great thing to think about and look at, Jack, because I actually believe many of us live the same way. Even as, we'll head into the New Year's Eve episode, but to actually go, you know what, next year with your goals and the things you want to do, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just doing it every day and overcoming that fear of not being perfect all the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So cool.
No, I'm very...
How about you, Shay?
Yeah, no, very much the same. My hardest thing has definitely been banks. Yes, it is the best and hardest thing that has ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure many or all parents can completely understand. And now I get it as well. It's just, okay, question, Jackie, what is a kind word for relentless? Because that is actually how it feels. Like, what is a positive spin on relentless where you love them so much and it is so rewarding and so wonderful, but you are dog tired, like you're exhausted, you don't know who you are anymore, your body is doing things that it has never done, it is looking like it has never looked, and it really, all of the hormones and everything, they really bring out a real intense side of you. Like, yeah, something I never realized. And I didn't realize, like, you're spot on, I didn't realize actually how much I was struggling. Like, I didn't realize how bad it was until it got better. And Dan didn't even realize either until it got better. And he's like, oh my goodness, how did you do that? Like, I'm okay. He did not sleep. He would sleep for 15 minutes every 5 hours. I would spend 2 hours trying to get this kid to literally close his eyes for 10 minutes, or I'd be nap trapped for hours at a time. So anyway, hardest thing, but best thing.
Yeah. Is there something that kind of helped you get through it? Like, what was the thing that was like, okay, I can actually do this?
Dan and God and my family. Like, I am so, so blessed. We have an amazing community around us. I couldn't have done any of this without our family and friends. Like, people are amazing. Also, can I just say how powerful a meal is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Meal train is the best thing to ever hit this earth. Like, I did not realize the mental load that is taken off you when someone has given you dinner.
Yeah.
Like, that helped so much. Not having to think about food was unbelievable. But yeah, just really being present in every moment, even when it was really hard, and just knowing that this isn't forever and this actually will pass, even though it doesn't feel like it, and just taking it minute by minute, not even hour by hour, just minute by minute, and kind of surrendering to, all right, well, this is what's happening right now. I'm on the couch. It's been 2.5 hours, but he's asleep. And we're okay, and there's actually nowhere I need to be. Or it's harder at 2 a.m. when you're literally crying, trying to settle a screaming baby. That's a bit harder. But also just crying out to God, going, I literally don't know what else to do, God. I just need you here with me. And yeah, I think that.
Totally. Yeah, that's so fair. Man, I think for me it's been... I feel like I've had like some really great moments of figuring out mental health stuff this year, but I also feel like it's been one of the worst mental health years I've had in a really long time. Yeah. I always cry when I talk about anything like this, so I'm really sorry ahead of time. But I just think, and like Jack's been a legend along this journey, coming and talking to me when I'm like on the verge of tears in the office, not from anything from work, but just more life. And, I think for all of us, and I'm sure, you felt it at time, Jack, you felt it at time, Shay, it's like the accumulation of life. It's often not one thing. It's often not just one thing going, okay, well, this is tricky, or this is upsetting, or this relationship is a bit funny. Like, usually it's like, oh no, like there are 5 things right now that are too much. And I think I probably hit that point a lot more times this year than in the past. And so I think that's where then I had that moment being like, oh no, I need to be more disciplined, or no, I need to do these things. Because the level of like anxiety that I felt this year has been so bad. And like to the point where, and I hate speaking things out that aren't, I don't like to give power to the things, but like, I think I've had more moments where I've just said to Tobes, like, I just am so sad. Like, I don't know why. And there's nothing to be sad about. Like, my life is great. Yeah. And I'm sure we've all had those moments where it's like, my life is good. I've got great family, great friends, great church, great job. Why am I so sad? And so I think I've had a lot of moments like that this year that have been really hard, and like really trying to wrestle that out with God to be like, God, I know you're good. And I think that's why my best thing was like coming to the realization of like all these good things, because there've been moments this year where I like it's so weird with mental health, because you can know everything and you can be like, I know things are good. I know that there are lots of good things in my life, but the hard things feel really hard and really big when you're in it. And so I would say that's been one of the hardest things. But equally, I think because it got so bad this year, it's also forced me to be really intentional. And so I'm on a journey of like talking to psychologists and like trying to actually do something about it, which I, aside from seeing like a counselor as a kid, I haven't really ever done that for these sorts of things. And so like that's been a massive win, is actually going, okay, no, I'm going to chat to someone. I'm going to try and get some help. But I also think I've come to the realization of like the root of a lot of the anxiety or stress, and realizing that I hold on to a lot of other people's stuff and like realizing that like a decision someone else was making that even may not have affected me at all, but I have like a really high level of empathy. And so if I think someone's making a decision that's going to hurt them, I'm like lying awake thinking about how bad it might end up. And so I think just those little things, it's been so hard, because it's like, oh my gosh, it got to the point that it was so bad I had to do all these things. But even like talking to Dr. Jody from the Well Hello Anxiety podcast, she's been amazing in like, you know, little hallway chats. Just it's like free psychologist sessions from Dr. Jody, just being like, you know, and also listening to her podcast. There's been moments where I've listened to it or have had realizations through, you know, people she's interviewed where I was like, oh, that's why I'm thinking like this. I think sometimes I've thought of anxiety as like very much there's a problem and I'm overreacting. Like that's what my brain was like, oh, this is what anxiety is. It's an overreaction to a smaller problem. But I think talking to Dr. Jody and getting a bit more of an understanding, it's like there are so many levels and layers to these feelings. And so, I think that's been really hard this year. And also on top of that, I think when you're in a relationship as well, to feel like you're the Debbie Downer all the time like is hard. And like I think I got to the point where I like just was like apologizing to Toby every day, because I come home from work and I just cry every day, and I just be like, you feel bad, you don't want someone to have to carry that. And so I think that was hard as well, as trying to do the wrestle of being like, I'm not a horrible person for making life heavy, because that's what I felt like I was doing. I felt like I was walking home and into the doors and I was just making life heavy because I felt so sad. So it's like sad to talk about, but it's also good because I'm definitely not there now, but just like thinking about it. So I think that's been the hardest thing. But also the cool thing has been now knowing, okay, God, I can see the good things that you're doing now.
But you know what, Ash, the flip side of not wanting to talk about it is that when you talk about it, you actually bring something that's, you know, dark and that's causing you angst, and you bring it into the light, and nothing dark survives in the light.
It's true.
And I think that's something we forget, because a lot of us, we do. We don't want to talk about things when they're going badly, because we think, oh no, I'm just being negative, or no, I'm just bringing other people down, or no, I'm just talking about something that is dark and I don't want to give it power and I don't want to give it more airtime than it should have. But what you're actually doing is destroying it. And I'm not talking about, you know, you go out and you talk to every Tom, Dick and Harry about what's going on in your life. You choose wisely who to talk to it about. But when you talk about it, when you bring it out into, you know, good godly company and people who give you good counsel, you destroy it. You destroy the darkness. You destroy its hold over what's going on in your life.
And I also think just being anxious or going through these things, it's not a lack of love of God, and it's not for a lack of trust. And I think that's where, you know, it's a cool thing, and probably something I've, you know, learnt and God's probably taught me this year, is that my relationship with him, like, it's probably like been one of the healthiest years in terms of that. And sometimes I think we go, well, I'm closer to God, so why am I feeling like this? Sometimes I do think that there's this pressure that comes when you're like relying on God. It's like you're kind of like, I don't know, it's learning how to be like, okay, God, I'm going to trust you even when things don't go to plan, even when things aren't feeling better. And I actually think I've learned a lot this year that like that's actually what God calls us to. It's not about, you know, when everything's perfect, it's about, okay, when everything's falling apart, do I still choose to like worship you and praise you?
Yeah, I don't know about you, Shay, but I took my oldest to sleep school, and you have to go through the difficulty of that. Like, I mean, you first get there and you're like, what the heck? I can't do this.
Someone help me.
Someone help me. What is going on? I don't know how to do this. But then you go home, you go through that, and they stand with you and they take you through it. And then you go home, and the first night when you're home, oh my gosh, because you are just trying to apply all this stuff that you've learnt during the day. And it is hard. You feel almost like you're harming your child, or it's not going very well, but you have to go through that, because on the flip side of that, on the other side of that, is this child who sleeps really well and who, you know, recognize sleep cues as the parent, and it just gets better and better, and you build a routine. You have to go through that hard time. You have to go through that to get to the better. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like life though, isn't it? It's kind of learning to go, okay, you know what's that scripture that we all hate? We don't hate it.
No, we don't.
The scripture that's like, and strength produces character and character produces faith. Yeah, it is James. But it's true, and we don't like it, and none of us, you know, like you were saying, and you were saying, Shay, none of us want to have to take our kids to sleep school and go through that. Yeah. But the fruit of it is amazing.
And when you realize in everyday life as well, God's not some kind of genie. He walks through the dark time with you, and that is the absolute love that he has for us, is that he doesn't leave you to it. He doesn't say, well, here's a hard time, off you trot, have fun with that. He walks through you with it. He gives you the strength to get through it, because he knows that on the other side of it, there's something that's going to come out of it.
It's so good.
Shay, what do you feel like God has taught you this year? Is there something that like,
not a lot.
What's been the thing that like God's spoken to you about?
He's been so faithful with his provision for both of us, like for our family, and sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes you feel like the more you stress, like you're doing, like you're stressed about something, so you're doing the work. As in like, oh, if I stress heaps about it, I don't know how to explain it. Like,
I know exactly what you mean. It's like the more that I can do, the more I can control, the less it can go wrong.
Exactly.
And you feel like you're doing the stuff to fix it.
But all you're doing is stressing and feeling anxious and heavy and gross. And so just this year, which has been the most wonderful and the hardest, just taking my foot off the accelerator and going, God, I literally have no control over any of this.
Yeah.
Like, all of this is completely in your hands, and you have been so faithful, and you've showed up time and time again, and I'm believing that in this moment you'll continue to do that. And that's probably probably what I've learned the most this year. Also, just being really present, but then I do want to talk about this later, so maybe I'll keep that little tidbit for myself. But beautiful. Probably being super reliant.
Yeah, that's great. How about you, Jack?
So I came into this year, I got a really, you know how some years you get a really clear word from God on what your year's going to be like. Other years you're a bit vague on it. Other years you get a scripture. I don't know. That's
no,
just how I roll.
I'm the same. Some years I go into the year with a lot of clarity. Some years I'm like, Lord, when you are ready. Yeah. I'm here. Reveal what I am to do.
Right. Went into this year with a word that this year was going to be a setup. Not quite sure how to take that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Few different ways. Like, I chose to look at it from an optimistic point of view, but it could have gone anyway. And so I really felt like this year was actually, what are you going to do this year to make this year like the launch pad? Because I feel like life is changing so much, and, you know, my kids are definitely older, and, you know, one of them's married and the other one's off traveling heaps and doing lots of stuff. And so it really felt like this kind of pivotal moment of going, oh, I think I'm phasing out of, like, you know, that real kind of not active parent. I don't know. It's hard nobody ever prepares you for being parent of older children. And
Yeah, there's a lot more books on having a baby than having an adult child.
It's so
Maybe
true.
that's your niche, Jack. Maybe you need to write a book on having adult children.
I don't know. I think the reason there's no books about it is because by the time you're doing it, you realize no one's a freaking expert.
No, it's true.
And we're all just winging it and just trying to love them the best that we can. But yeah, I really felt this year was going to be like pivotal and like a real setup and like laying a good foundation for the years to come. And I think God and I have worked really well doing that this year.
That's great.
So,
You feel like it's been a year of him just really helping you to kind of get through that and set that up and I guess teaching you how to do that?
yeah, absolutely. And getting to know him on those terms as well. So a lot of times when I do that morning walk, I don't put headphones on. I intentionally just make it me and God. Sometimes I forget about that and my thoughts take me off, in different places. But I feel like we've actually spent a lot of intentional time together this year as well. So, yeah, it's been great. It's been a reaffirming of things that I've, wanted to get back in the habit of doing and getting to know him and, more and more and more and spending that time and really just leaning into, well, what does it look like to, set a good foundation?
Even when you guys are talking about rushing, because I'm the exact same. When you're in the car and you're like, hey, now I'm going to go here and then I'm going to hop in the car and I'm going to drive here. I've been doing the exact same thing. Or I have this phrase in my head where I go, why are you rushing?
Yes.
Like, how often do we rush for no reason or we sleep in and we don't allow ourselves time? And that's not to say we can, we're never going to sleep in again or we're never going to, have a time crunch. But I think we've created this sense where we need to be busy and rushing all the time, kind of like what you were saying, Shay, to be getting somewhere or to be doing the right thing. And I think that's probably something I've learned this year as well is, trying to slow down a bit more. I'm still so bad at resting. And even when I am resting at home, I'm like, okay, I can do this at home or I can do something in the kitchen or I can put a lot of washing on. Like, I need to learn how to chill out a little bit. And so I've been having that thought process as well of going, why am I rushing? No one's rushing me. I'm late behind a schedule I have in my brain that no one else has given to me.
Yep.
This is entirely my own internal rushing. So take a breath.
100%.
Even this morning, I went to the gym this morning and I was I had a coffee and I had my coffee on the drive to the gym, and normally you'd kind of rush around and quickly run inside to the gym, and I was like, I've got 6 minutes. It's going to take me 2 minutes to walk into the gym. So I'm just sit in the car, finish my coffee. We don't always have to be rushing, and it sounds silly, but
no, it's bang
we
on.
We literally have this thing where we're just always going and going and going. But I think for me, I don't know when I spoke about it. I'm not sure if I spoke about it with Jack or I've definitely spoken about it on the podcast this year at some point. At the very beginning of this year, I was driving and I heard God say, and I never feel like I hear a super clear impression. It's not like I hear a voice. It's more just when you get the sense, oh, that was from God. That scripture where it says the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. And I remember hearing that so clearly and I was like, that is not a scripture I call to mind often, And I think it's ended up being something that God has taught me so much out of. It's such a short little thing, but God has taught me so much about discipline. I was talking about how, I wanted to be disciplined in my fitness life, in my faith life, in my, spending time with God, in so many areas. And I think God really has taught me out of that revelation of your spirit wants to do all these right things. Your heart is in this place where you want to be close to God. You want to be disciplined and look after yourself. We all know what we want or what God wants of us. But so often our flesh or how tired we are or our lifestyle or whatever it is, it pulls us out of it. And so I think I've learned a lot this year about that. Even in wrestling those anxious and heavy thoughts, really going or understanding, okay, myself as a human wants to sit in the heavy or sit in the hard or sit in these things, but my spirit needs to like worship God and see the good and fix my eyes on the things that God is doing. And so there's kind of this, I think I've had a real realization of like this wrestle that goes on with like everything. It's not just fitness, it's not just, you know, faith walk, it's everything. And so I've really tried to have a sense of, okay, you know, what is what God wants out of this and what is what I want or my flesh in inverted commas wanting, because yeah, it can be easy to get lost in it all. But I think, God's really taught me this year how to go, okay, this might be what I want to do. I might want to sleep in or I might want to do this. But I actually kind of like you were saying, Jack, today I have to get up early because that's what's going to actually benefit me in the long run. Because I know that if I don't get up early and I don't have my quiet time and I don't go to the gym, I'm going to feel more anxious and I'm going to feel more worried. And it's so funny how it's like the discipline produces discipline. Whereas in your brain, you kind of think, oh, well, you know, I'll get there eventually, but I really think I remember hearing a quote once, and maybe you even said it to me, Jack, where it was like motivation isn't built. Like you can't build motivation; it's a choice. And I think that's where that kind of line of the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. It's a choice. It's a decision to go. I'm going to spend time with God, or I'm not, or I'm going to stay in this mindset, or I'm not. And not to say that we don't need help or support or any of those things. But I think this has been a really big year of going, okay, what do I actually want out of life? And I even had a moment where I had this thought where I was like, I want to, and it's probably in the depths of that like anxious, I don't want to say it was depressive, but like heavy season, sad season, where I was like, I know all the things I need to do. Like in my head, I know the list of things that will help me to get out of this funk. I know it. I talk about it on the podcast. I read it in the Bible. I talk about it to my friends. I know the things. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard to get up that little bit earlier? Why is it so hard to, you know, get out of those bad thoughts? And I've really had to go, okay, well, I need to make a decision that I'm not going to do those things, or I'm not going to sit in that place, or I'm going to go get the help that I need. And so I think that's probably been a massive thing that I've learned this year is
it's awesome.
Motivation won't just come. The want to, you know, do all these things doesn't just come. So we need to make the choice ahead of time.
Yeah, it's so good. I want to go back and change what I said before, because everything you just said, Ash, making the decision to like even start our day early so that we have a schedule has completely changed how I live. So it's making the decision, even though I'm tired, like we're starting our day, you are getting into a routine, and it opens up the day to be slow because, you know, you've allowed so much space. And actually probably, so sorry, I do just need to say this. The thing that I have learnt the most is actually walk, don't run. That keeps coming into my mind is like having Banks has really forced me to look at the little things and focus on like the quiet little moments and just taking that in. There is nowhere we need to be. I'm running off someone's schedule who literally just entered this world, so they have no idea. And so just taking just taking all the pressure off and going, this is where we're at. We're in bed, it's been an hour, but watching him explore, like touching the sheets and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, and just taking things really slow and allowing space. That's probably been the biggest thing. Yes. Yeah. So what we can all take from this is we should all go to sleep school. Even if you don't have kids.
So good. I feel like for all of us, it's been a year of like, you know, discipline. Changing, slowing down, not taking things as quickly. And I think all three of us are people who have ambition, who are very passionate, who want to get things done. And so I think it's so funny we've all been on a similar journey in different, it's like God's been like, I'm going to teach you all the same thing, but you're all going to do it and have completely different like problems to deal with that. And so I think, you know, even sitting here today, and it's cool to look on the year in hindsight as well, to be like, there's been some shockers, some absolute shockers this year. But at the end of the day, like God's been so good and so faithful. And I'm excited for all He's going to do next year. And you guys have done so well on the podcast, in your world, in having a baby. having little banks in your fitness journey, Jack, in just in everything that God's done. I think, it's a really fruitful year. I think when I look at all of the conversations, even when we spoke last year and all of these things, it's been a fruitful year. A lot of change, big things, but we've all grown and learnt a whole lot. So
yeah, it's just been the best.
I'm excited for next year. Let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the podcast. I hope that it encouraged you, that it's helped you through, and that it helps to challenge you through the season of life that you're facing, uplift you if you're feeling down. And most of all, I pray that you're able to draw closer and closer to God. I'm so excited to keep diving into the Word of God with you. I pray you're able to find moments of joy.